guys, Steph here. Okay, so let's have another video. So, for you regular viewers that watch my videos on a regular basis, a number of months ago, you would have watched a pen haul video, and you would have seen a pen which was, well, at the time didn't seem, everything seemed okay with it, everything seemed fine, but here's the pen in question. As you can see, nice pen, yeah, quite a handsome pen, tired as always, but if you actually keep looking, can you see what is actually wrong with this pen? Yes, there's a couple of things that don't look true, don't look right, and yeah, so what we did, we actually basically took the pen in hand and, well, we actually restored it. And here's the pen in question. What I've actually done, I've worked on it. We've actually totally disassembled the pen, cleaned everything internally. The pen had a number of scratches, wear marks, etc. There was a couple of deep scratches to the bottom which we actually filled and polished out, but the pen now is looking great. The end cap, or the blind cap, was slightly discoloured. There's still a little bit of discolouring, but it's a lot better than it was originally. So what do we have for you? Let's take you first of all straight to the barrel imprint, and as you can see, the barrel imprint reads that it's, well, to the left, made in Canada, centre, Parker Vacumatic, and then to the right it's got a, or is it to the bottom, it's got a patent number 318982, and hopefully you can see to the very right there we've got a number 44. Okay, so the 44 is a date number. Now, as far as I'm aware, on the date number we can date this pen to around about, well, the fourth quarter of what I believe is 1934. The reason I'm thinking that way is that the date codes on Parker were from, well, they brought them out, I believe, 1934 through to 1938, and that was a period they actually used a 2-digit date code. One of the digits telling you which quarter the pen was made, and the other digit telling you what year the pen was made. So again, this one having the number 44, I'm dating it to the fourth quarter of 1934. If I'm wrong, I'll stand corrected, because these Parker Vacumatics, they came in lots of different colours, obviously. Excuse me. They came in lots of different designs, and sometimes it's a little bit difficult to tell which model it actually is. Now, when I say which model, I believe this is the Parker Vacumatics. I think this is the oversize model. Again, if anybody knows any different, please leave a comment below, and it educates us all. So I'm calling this the Parker Vacumatic Oversize, as we said, made in Canada. Now, as we just showed you in the video at the beginning, when I actually got this pen, I looked at it, thought, wow, that's good, that'll come up very nice, and it'll make a lovely pen. It wasn't until actually after the video that I actually realised there was things that were actually wrong with the pen. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but this one, as I say, it's supposed to be a Vacumatic. Now, if we unscrew the blind cap here, there we go. So I don't know if you actually guessed, or you got the answer, that although it's a Vacumatic, it's actually fitted with a button. Now, what I did with this pen when I was restoring it, there was a couple of things that I had to actually add on and make to fit. Inside the aluminium that was the original pump, if you like, I had to insert a steel sort of tube so that the button actually fitted nice and snug. Again, I don't know if you can notice, if I could turn it round, where is it? There it is. I don't know if you can notice, just to the right of the pump there's a little sort of metal hook. One of the other things that I actually did was added what we term as a crux pressure bar, as opposed to a straightforward straight pressure bar. As with the earlier do-fold, I thought it was better, well, whether it's better or not I don't know, but quite simply I added the crux, or some people call it the A pressure bar. Okay, so that was one of the things that I actually did, but apart from that, as I say, hopefully it should be in working order. The size of the pen capped is actually 132 millimeters capped. Around the barrel it's a lovely chunky 13 millimeters in diameter, so as you can see it's a lovely chunky, yeah, I would say an oversized fountain pen. When I cleaned it all internally, I don't know how actually obvious it is. Well, it's not very obvious, but it does have a transparent barrel, and it's got the lines running, you know, the length of the barrel. But because I've actually put a sack inside the pen now, it's not as obvious. Originally, with the sort of diaphragm inside, you would have been able to have seen the transparency, but again, because it's what we term as a Frankenpen and I've installed a sack inside, it's not as clear because of the sack inside the pen. Let's take it up to the cap. You can see it's got these three cap bands to the bottom of the cap there. We've got the very recognisable, this is what they term as the deco clip, or the Parker deco clip of that particular period. You can see it's quite a short clip as well, and then to the top there we've got this black jewel to the very top, and then also, I don't know if you can actually see it, to the back somewhere, to the very top there on the ring, we've also got another sort of patent number. Now, as I said, this one being a Frankenpen, well, what we'll do, let's actually take the cap off for you. Let's show you the pen in numerous different angles. Even though it's a Frankenpen, as I say, I've fully restored it. I've removed a lot of the scratches. There's still one or two, but it's looking a lot better than it actually did. Now, let's go up to the section. Now, whether this is the correct section or not, I'm not particularly sure, but as you can see, it fits. I had to actually do a little bit of work on the sack nipple on this section to make it fit the sack, because I've put quite a large, I can't remember the number, it might have been actually a 22 or a 21 number sack inside. But as you can see, again, lovely and clean. And then let's take you up to the nib. We've got this lovely large nib there. You can see it's got the inlaid arrow on the nib itself. Just to the bottom, I don't know if you can see, it says 14 karat Parker Vacumatic, and then inside the section to the very bottom it's got the letter N for the Newhaven factory. Okay, so although we've got a Canadian made pen, we've got a Newhaven nib in the pen, but it's still the correct Parker Vacumatic nib. Very attractive. There's a sideways view. There's the feed underneath. We've got a standard sort of Parker sort of ladder feed inside there. And I don't know if you can actually notice, it's got a nice stub. Let's turn it round. It's got a nice stub nib there. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how the pen actually writes. But a very nice chunky pen in my large hands, very comfortable to hold. Now let's go back to the back end here. As we said, the slight sort of Frankenpen side of it is now, this pen is now a button filler. Now this one I believe would have had what they term as the lockdown filler. The lockdown filler I believe was from 1932 again through to 1938. So this particular pen would have been a Vacumatic lockdown filler with, as we said, a diaphragm inside the pen. Also, I believe, if I just screw it back on, it may have had a different blind cap. It may have actually had a jeweled blind cap to the bottom of the barrel to match the jewel in the top of the cap there. Okay, but although it's a different blind cap, as you can see, it fits nicely. It's lovely and clean, and once again a lovely handsome pen. Now, as I said, I fully restored it, new sack in it, adjusted certain little things to make it, hopefully, to make it work correctly. So what I'm going to do, let's unscrew the blind cap once again. Let's bring some ink to the side here, and quite simply, to fill the pen, there we go, that's all we need to do, is press the button to the end of the barrel, which actually opens up the crook bar or the A bar inside against the sack, and hopefully fills the pen with ink. So let's test it. So let's dip it in the ink. There we go. I'm sure you could hear that gurgling, that burbling sound, bubbling, which is exactly what we want to hear. So let's pop the blind cap back on. There we go. Let's bring on some paper and let's see how the pen writes. This is the first time I've tested it since it's been restored and worked on, so you're seeing exactly what I see. If there's any adjustment that is needed, we'll have to do that after the video. So what do we have here? We have a Parker Vacumatic made in Canada, and as we said, I'm dating the pen to the fourth quarter of 1934. The reason I'm sort of giggling to myself, it's writing very nicely indeed. It's lovely and smooth. Now, although you can see there it's got quite a broad line, does it have any variation or any flex to the nib? So what we'll do, let's do the downward stroke. Let's do a cross stroke, and look at that. So it's actually a lovely broad line. So let's do some figure of eights. Very nice. So absolutely lovely. It's a gorgeous writer. As you can see, I'm saying nice and simply, it's writing with a broad line. We're getting a little bit of variation because, as I said earlier, we've got a stub nib. But look at that. a lovely line variation. As I said, broadish line from the beginning, but a lovely smooth writer. What a gorgeous pen. So I'm more than happy with that. Let's just empty it, see if any ink comes out, which it should do, so I don't want to get it everywhere. So yeah, I can see that squirting out quite nicely, which is precisely what I'd like to see. So in my opinion, success. A gorgeous fountain pen. Yep, it's writing very nicely indeed. I don't know if you can actually see, you can just see some of the sort of transparency on one side there, but it's not as clear as it should be, because quite simply, as I mentioned, we've now got a sack inside. But there we have it, from a pen that we found in the wild that was very tired, wasn't looking too clever. We've actually taken it apart, cleaned everything internally, everything has been cleaned and the pen's been polished. We've adjusted certain things here and there, including the end piece here. Now some people will say to me, yes, but Steph, why didn't you convert it back to the original Vacumatic pen? One of the reasons being is that I'd actually considered that, and then when I actually sort of went online and looked for a replacement pump unit for the end here, for the sort of the oversized pens, they were very, well, in my opinion, very expensive. There's one I found online in the USA. It was priced at $125, which in the English pounds is approximately £102. Plus postage, it would have been a little bit more than that. So, well, to put that into this pen and then restore it and then ask a price, so in my opinion it would have become quite expensive. But again, in my personal opinion, I think it works absolutely beautifully with this sack installed, with this button filler, and as you've just seen, it writes absolutely lovely. A lovely smooth writer, but now we've got a fully functioning fountain pen. Okay, it's not a true Parker Vacumatic, it's what we term as a Frankenpen. So there we have it. I hope you've enjoyed looking at this pen as much as I enjoy showing them to you people. Don't forget, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, don't forget, give the video that thumbs up, please. Just for now, I'm just going to say Slavo Ukraini from me and this lovely Frankenpen. I'm going to say bye bye for now.